A portion of today's video is sponsored by War Thunder. When I completed the 5th Minecraft Iceberg video, I thought we had covered just about everything that was interesting, and I expected it to be the final video in the series. But as I further explored the depths of the game, I continued to stumble across strange and unusual nuggets of information. So over the course of several months, I began to construct another iceberg. I was encouraged by a user named Bogical who was also making icebergs. Thanks to their help, I realized that the Minecraft Iceberg series was not quite done. So sit back, turn the lights off, and join me for a dive beneath the waves. Creeper in clouds. The clouds in Minecraft are something we don't usually think about, unless we're trying to build something high up and they're getting in the way. While the clouds may seem random, they're actually not. It's a set pattern that is the same every time. If you wait long enough, you'll eventually see a creeper face. It's a neat little Easter egg. Llama carpet patterns. Llamas have a few interesting traits that make them different from other tameable mobs. You can equip a chest on one, which gives it some inventory slots. Not all llamas are equally strong. Most can hold between 3 and 9 slots. However, fewer than 1% of llamas can hold a whopping 15 items at once. It's also possible to put a wool carpet on a llama, which results in one of 16 different unique patterns. Most of these are abstract, but there are a couple that look like other mobs, the creeper and the enderman. Another interesting thing about llamas is that you can create a caravan. By guiding one with a lead, other llamas will follow, forming a caravan of up to 10 llamas. I don't typically think about llamas that much, but they're a mob with a surprisingly rich set of possibilities. Minecraft Movie Block Party Edition. The Minecraft movie was notorious for many reasons. It spent over a decade in development, with multiple major creative changes. When it was finally released last year, there were certain audience members who got just a little bit too excited. But instead of trying to calm our young friends down, Warner Bros. Actually released a second version of the movie designed specifically to hype up the audience. It was called a Minecraft Movie Block Party Edition. This included words on the screen to help audiences, and I quote, meme along. Their words, not mine.
It's time to sing along. Meme along. To every favorite moment from the movie.
Let's Minecraft!
A Minecraft movie. Rated PG.
Chicken jockey! Woo!
However, compared to the original release, there's relatively little footage that exists of in-theater reactions from the Block Party Edition.
Steve's Mama Chicken, yes!
And perhaps that's a good thing. I don't envy the theater staff that had to deal with the fallout the first time around. Cat gifts. Just like a real cat, a Minecraft cat can go hunting while you're asleep. When a player awakes near a tamed cat, it has a 70% chance to bring you a gift. I have 2 real-life cats named Bach and Beethoven, so I know that the gifts they bring are not always something we would want in the house. In Minecraft, it can be a rabbit's foot, a string, or a feather, but they also have a 3.22% chance to bring a phantom membrane, meaning that it's possible to repair your elytra on peaceful mode. Cursed enchantments. Minecraft includes a huge number of possible enchantments, about 40 as of 2026. But not all enchantments are created equal. Some are known as treasure enchantments. These cannot be obtained using an enchanting table, and they're only found in the wild. These include such unique enchantments as Mending and Frostwalker. There are a further 3 enchantments that cannot be traded by villagers: Soul Speed, Swift Sneak, and Windburst. But perhaps the most unique enchantments are the 2 curses, which both have negative effects. An item with Curse of Vanishing disappears upon death, and an item with Curse of Binding cannot be removed once equipped. This is an interesting quirk that's especially useful for pranking your friends. Hello, young lady. Steve is one of Minecraft's most famous characters, and he's beloved among the community. That is, with the notable exception of a young Finnish fan in 2014.
Hello, young lady. Oh! I hate real life!
Breaking a dragon egg. The dragon egg is a unique item that is obtained when killing the Ender Dragon for the first time. Infamously, it cannot be mined, and thus must be obtained by dropping it down onto a torch or pushing it with a piston. If it's affected by an explosion, it always drops as an item. There is, however, one way to destroy it in block form. the Ender Dragon itself. While many blocks are immune to the dragon's attacks, the egg is not. Perhaps this is a bug, but it's been known for nearly 6 years, and yet the behavior remains. Campfire cooking. One of the early game challenges Minecraft players must face is how to cook food. This typically involves making a pickaxe, mining stone, and crafting a furnace. But the issue with this is that you need a supply of fuel. Instead, you can smelt a wooden log into charcoal and use it to craft a campfire, where it's possible to cook raw meat. It does take longer, 30 seconds as opposed to the furnace's 10 seconds, but since you can cook 4 at once, it's actually more efficient than the furnace overall. Plus, it requires no extra fuel, as campfires burn indefinitely. Kind of funny that the rustic approach is actually better in many ways. End flashes. The End is a notoriously stark and austere dimension. However, it actually does have weather effects, in the form of end flashes. Every 30 seconds, there's a bright purple flash that has a rumbling sound effect. In Java, it is always visible, but in Bedrock you need to have vibrant visuals enabled. It serves as a light source that tints the environment, and there's even a bit of fog that appears. It's a neat little detail that gives the End a bit more character. Of course, what would give the End a lot more character is an End update. Let's go, Mojang, it's been years. Goat milking. In my last Iceberg video, I discussed how there was an old glitch that allowed you to milk squids using a bucket. Of course, the standard way to get milk is from a cow, but there's actually another way to obtain it. You can also milk a goat, although it isn't always as happy about it as a cow. Emotes. This one may not be surprising to most of you, but as a Java player I was quite shocked when I learned that Bedrock Edition has emotes. A few of them are acquired by completing certain achievements, but many can be purchased with mine coins. The most expensive of these is 660 mine coins, which is equivalent to nearly $5 US. If you were to buy every possible emote when they were available, you'd have to spend over $350. If you get value out of that, then go for it, but it's definitely not something I thought about coming from Java. Crops are affected by fortune. Fortune is an enchantment that's typically used to gain more raw materials while mining ores. But the enchantment actually increases the drop rate of several other items, including glowstone dust from glowstone blocks. It also increases the number of melon slices per melon, as well as farmed carrots and potatoes. You even get more saplings when breaking tree leaves. None of this is anywhere near as useful as more ores, but it's an interesting effect that I certainly didn't know. End softlock. At one point, it was possible to perpetually trap yourself in the End. By placing your respawn bed directly beneath the End portal and going to the End for the first time, any death will immediately bring you back to the side of your bed, which will then teleport you to the End once more. The only way out is to defeat the Ender Dragon with literally no items, something that is probably impossible, although I'm sure someone has attempted it. Villager gossip. Villagers may seem simple on the surface, but expert players of Minecraft know that their underlying mechanics are at times quite complex. This includes a system of gossiping. Villagers remember things that the player does. This includes positive actions like trading with a villager or curing it from zombification, as well as negative actions like attacking or killing a villager nearby. Then, villagers will share their memories of the player with others. Each piece of gossip has a certain cost to share, as well as an impact multiplier. When a villager learns about a player from multiple other villagers, it aggregates all of the gossip together to come up with a reputation. Certain things have a higher multiplier. If a villager learns that a player killed another villager, that will outweigh minor positive traits. This is how the villagers decide how good of a trade to give you. If your reputation gets too low, villager iron golems will attack you on sight. Villager gossip does slowly decay over time, as villagers forget what was told them. I think that this is a super cool system that adds a lot of realism to the villages. Today's video is sponsored by War Thunder, which is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and is available now for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile devices. Take command of over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships of 10 major nations, ranging from biplanes and armored cars of the 1920s to the fighter jets and main battle tanks of today. Immerse yourself in the intense combat of War Thunder, where incredibly detailed vehicles, realistic graphics, and authentic sound effects place you right at the helm of the most powerful war machines of our time. Join a worldwide community of over 95 million players in epic PvP battles today, and delve into the breathtaking experience that is War Thunder. With an unmatched wealth of high-quality content to discover, there's simply no game better suited for fans of military history. One of the cool things is that there are no simple hitboxes. Instead, the game has a sophisticated vehicle damage model. War Thunder is available for free, and you can sign up using the links in the pinned comment or the video description. There's a massive, limited-time bonus pack for new and returning players who haven't played in at least 6 months for PC and consoles. This pack includes multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decorator, Eagle of Valor, 10,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. Now, back to the video. Java World Loading Screen Meaning. In Java Edition, there's an animation that is seen when loading into a world, and it looks like a square that has evolving, colorful borders. For a long time, I thought that this was just an animation, but it turns out that the visual actually means something. Each pixel represents a chunk around the player's spawn, and the color of the pixel indicates its loading status. Each chunk starts empty, but then progresses through several states. This includes generating structures, biomes, noise, carver caves, and light. When the chunk is white, that means it's fully loaded. I've always wondered about this, and it's super interesting to see that it's actually showing us something. Chat log archives. It's actually possible to view a history of every chat log from every server you've played on. By going to a specific section of the Minecraft folder, you can see the archived log files that are never deleted. I'm not sure how useful this is, but it can be kind of fun to go back and look through your past sessions. Drowning Endermen. Endermen are my favorite mob in the game. They are super mysterious and weird, which is why my Enderman skin is a good fit for the channel. But unlike me, Endermen do not enjoy taking a dive beneath the waves. In fact, water is so damaging to them that they will do anything possible to avoid it. Since they're capable of teleporting, it's very easy for them to avoid falling into a water pool. However, you can capture an Enderman by putting it into a boat, allowing you to restrict its teleportation. Strangely, Endermen in boats do not take water damage on their head. They can sit there seemingly as usual. But in a bizarre twist, they do breathe oxygen, and their meter will slowly deplete. Once it's gone, they will progressively take damage before finally drowning to death. It's one of the most obscure and strange ways to kill an Enderman. Milkable Creeper. During a routine trip to Walmart, a Reddit user discovered something disturbing: green jugs of creeper milk. The implications of this are quite profound, as it suggests that creepers are actually mammals, and their milk is green. I certainly would not want to be the person in charge of trying to milk something that explodes when you look at it, but somehow the scientists at TrueMoo figured out a way. But should they have? I'll leave the judgment on this matter to the viewer. Fully generated end portal. The end portal in the stronghold has a frame made of 12 blocks. By putting an Eye of Ender into each of them, the end portal opens, and the player can go face the Ender Dragon. When you first find the portal, some number of frames will already be filled. The most common number is 2. But exactly 1 out of every trillion times, the frame will be completely full, with the portal to the end already open. It's so rare that there's a high chance that no one who has ever played Minecraft has ever found one of these frames naturally. However, many of these seeds have been discovered through computational methods. I used one of these seeds in my video, Minecraft Doesn't Need You, where I showed that the game could be completed just by mobs moving around randomly. Check that out here if you're interested. Silent music. Minecraft's music is a classic part of the game, and it plays no matter what you're doing, be it a peaceful building session or a difficult mob fight. Well, almost no matter what, because there are 2 physical locations where no music plays. The first is the warped forest biome in the Nether, although it does have plenty of ambient sounds. The second location is the Pale Garden in the Overworld. It's so creepy how the music just stops. It feels like I'm in an ARG video. It serves to make a very unique biome that much more unsettling. Tattered book. When a book and quill is signed, it can no longer be edited, and the item name changes to show that it is an original. However, you can copy it by crafting it with another book and quill. This creates a book with the same title that is a copy of original. Copying that book will result in a copy of a copy. But this book cannot be copied again. This is an interesting mechanic that, in a weird way, makes the copy of a copy more valuable than the original, as there's no way to duplicate it. However, there's actually another book level. If you could somehow copy the copy of a copy, you would get a tattered book. While it's possible for books like this to exist, the only way to get it is to summon it using commands or to use an NBT editor. The word copy now means nothing to me. This is known as semantic satiation, by the way. Knowledge book. In Minecraft Java, the knowledge book is seen on the inventory and crafting screens. It serves as a list of recipes and shows the player what they need to craft them. But what you may not know is that it's actually possible for this book to exist as an item using commands. Depending on how you structure it, you can choose which recipes are in the book. Then, a player who uses a knowledge book immediately gains access to those recipes in the crafting screen. The book disappears as soon as it's used. This is an interesting way to lock recipes physically, especially if you have the game rule that only lets you craft recipes that you know. Nether portal animation skip. When teleporting to and from the Nether, you typically have to go through a slow animation before the teleportation commences. However, it is possible to skip this. If you enter the portal while in a boat, you'll immediately teleport. This is because the boat is an entity, and entities like thrown items teleport instantaneously. It's a slightly strange way to save a couple of seconds. Desert Pyramid Buried Room. The Desert Pyramid is noteworthy for being one of the earlier generated structures added to the game. It has several different spaces, including a TNT trap at the bottom that you will only ever fall for once.
Oh, sh! Ah! 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 No!
However, these are not the only rooms in the pyramid. If we look closely, we will see that there are portions of the floor that are sand. By digging these out, we can reveal a hidden staircase that leads to another room. It has an identical terracotta pattern to the one in the main area, but without the shaft leading to the TNT trap. It's intriguing that there are two of these. Why would the pyramid be designed in this way? Who decided to fill it with sand, leaving only the trapped portion? The suspicious sand can contain diamonds. It's the only location in the game where they can be found using archaeology. Perhaps the creator of the temple hid the true treasure in a place that could only be accessed by someone who knew where to dig. Bubble column without water. Bubble elevators are a common way to push the player up, and they're much faster than a ladder. But they are a bit annoying, as there needs to be some way to contain the water required. However, on Bedrock Edition, it's possible to create a waterless bubble elevator. All you have to do is place powdered snow from the top down, place a water bucket on top, and then remove it. This results in a bubble elevator with no water and no side blocks. It's such a cool and unique setup that's sure to result in some interesting construction designs. Removed Alex. For most of early Minecraft, the only default skin was Steve. But starting in 2011, there were two other characters that were seen in promotional material. One of these was a player with black hair and dark skin. The other was a player with long blonde hair. This is Alex, who would be added as an official default skin in 2014. At the time, most people thought Alex was intended to be a female counterpart to Steve. But it turns out that Alex was actually based on Jens Bergensten, the chief creative officer for Mojang, who also has long hair. Jens says that he based the skin on himself so that he could take the blame for any negative feedback.
I took inspirations from the way I look with red hair and pale skin in order to make sure that at least I could blame it on me if people had complaints about the way the skin looked.
In fact, the original texture had invisible pixels that were in the shape of glasses, just like Jens. Despite this, official Mojang media has since then referred to Alex as a female, at one point even saying that Steve was her boyfriend, although this was eventually changed. Ultimately, Alex's gender doesn't really matter that much, but it's an interesting quirk of the history. But what happened to the third character from the promotional images? Despite the future addition of 7 more default skins, this player has not made another appearance. Who this was or why they were eventually scrapped remains a mystery. Magnetic Circuit. In Minecraft Alpha 1.1.1, a new background track was added called Magnetic Circuit. It's one of the stranger tracks in the game, especially because of a bizarre moment almost 2 minutes in.
Mojang specification.
A slowed voice says Mojang Specifications, Mojang's official name prior to being bought out by Microsoft. It turns out that this is the voice of Notch, who accidentally added it while testing the music system. This track would be removed in the next update. To my knowledge, this is the only time that a music track has ever been removed from Minecraft, although some tracks have undergone a few changes, as we will see soon. As a side note, Alpha 1.1.1 had a far more serious issue with it, but we will get there later on in the chart. Fatal Poison. Poison is an annoying status effect. It slowly drains your hearts over time. However, the effect on its own cannot kill you. It will bring you down to half a heart and then stop there. But in Bedrock Edition, there's a more powerful version called Fatal Poison. This works just like regular poison, except it actually can kill you. Fatal Poison only exists in one place. If you feed a parrot a cookie, it will become fatally poisoned. I'm not sure why they needed a completely new status effect for this one instance, and it's definitely one of the more obscure ways for a mob to die. Creeper Potion Cloud. Lingering potions are similar to splash potions, but the status effects linger on the ground for longer. They are a late game item, as the only way to craft one is using Dragon's Breath. However, that's not the only way to get a lingering cloud. It's possible during ominous trials, but there's another way that doesn't require a journey deep underground. In Java, a creeper with a potion effect will create a lingering version of that effect if they explode. I'm not sure how useful this really is, but it's an obscure potion fact that I'll bet most of you didn't know. Surviving/kill. /kill is a command that kills anything in the game. It does this by dealing 3.4 times 10 to the 38 damage. Obviously, nothing can survive this. But what if there was a way to avoid taking damage in the first place? If you are reading the end poem, your player cannot die. This includes /kill, making it the only way to be immune to the command. This does make me wonder though, where exactly is the player while watching the credits? Junk Boy's Face. Many Mojang developers are quite well known in the community, such as Jens and Agnes, who are often seen in Minecraft Live presentations. But others are far more secretive, perhaps no one more so than Marcus Toivonen, also known as Junk Boy. He has never shown his face in any Minecraft media. When he does make an appearance, sometimes his face is blurred. Other times, it's a cartoon character with blue hair. His official avatar is wearing a wrestling mask. The reason for the secrecy is unknown, but while no one has seen Marcus's face, we certainly have seen his work. He is the original creator of the Minecraft logo. I think it's pretty cool that he made something so prominent while being invisible himself. Junk Boy remains influential to this day, as he's currently the creative brand director for Mojang Studios. Player name is you. There's a certain splash text that is only triggered under very specific conditions. If a resource pack includes custom splashes and there are more than 42 of them, then there's a low chance to see the unique splash, player name is you. This is a reference to Baba is You, an indie puzzle game where you change the rules in the world, leading your player to the goal. I'm not sure why there's such a particular set of things required to trigger this, but it's one of the most obscure Minecraft Easter eggs. Cave Sound Code. Cave sounds are one of the most infamously creepy parts of Minecraft, spawning tons of theories. It's well known that Cave Sound 14 has a creeper face in it, only visible when looking at it through a spectrogram. But what's less well known is that there's another cave sound with a secret message. Let's take a listen to Cave Sound 21. There's a strange growling and pulsating sound. It turns out that this is Morse code, and it spells out behind. Since both 14 and 21 have something hidden, this makes me wonder if 7 does as well. But if so, no one has found it. Minecraft. The Minecraft title screen has undergone many changes throughout the years, but all of them had a big Minecraft logo with yellow splash text. Well, almost all of them. In alpha version 1.0.13.1, the Minecraft logo was replaced with 1K and 24H, in celebration of Minecraft selling 1,000 copies in, you guessed it, 24 hours. This was changed back in the following version, but there was a mistake. Part of the M was cut off. This would get fixed 4 days later, but I believe this is the only known example of an inaccurate title screen. Minecraft reality. When we think of augmented reality in Minecraft, the most obvious example is Minecraft Earth, the ill-fated mobile game that was released in 2019 and lasted just a year and a half. This was like a Minecraft version of Pokemon Go, and players could walk to real-world locations to collect virtual items. But what you may not have known is that Minecraft Earth was not the first augmented reality Minecraft game. That honor goes to Minecraft Reality, which was released in 2012, over 6 years prior. The app cost $2. By uploading your world files to a website, you could access them in the app, and then visually place them into the real world using AR technology. The best part is that you could stumble across creations created by other people, kind of like a real-life version of a multiplayer server. The game was shut down about a year and 2 months after launch, lasting just a couple months fewer than Minecraft Earth. Perhaps the third time will be the charm for a real-life Minecraft game. End Crystal Secret Message. The End Crystal has some strange symbols on it. They're not the enchanting table language. In fact, they are seen nowhere else in the game. A Reddit user named Dr. Naba discovered that by arranging them in a certain way, they spell out the word Mojang. Despite being hidden in plain sight, this Easter egg went unnoticed for nearly 10 years. It's a fascinating example of how looking at things in a different way can reveal hidden patterns. API testing capes. Minecraft capes are well known, unless you're me, who errantly thought that the pan cape was a custom cape created for an ARG, despite being literally the only cape ever given out to all players with no time limit. This gives Micah a chance to say hi to us, and we learn that he has a new cape. It does not appear to be official, and it's hard to tell what it is for sure. It almost seems like it could be the sun setting over mountains. Oops. One interesting cape category is the API testing capes. API stands for Application Protocol Interface, and it's basically a way to use certain sections of a program whenever you need to. There are a few capes that Mojang has used to test their internal cape API, and they've made appearances on various servers. One of these is the Size M cape, and it looks notably like a sniffer. It was first seen on the account of a Mojang software engineer called DatTryu. But in what was apparently a glitch, it was given to a random player named Kimiyamu as well, which is why this is the only API testing cape where we know the name. There are a few other capes that have been discovered from the developer Dat. The snail cape is, well, a snail, and users theorize that it was based on a model posted by Dat on their Twitter. There are a pair of capes that say ICU, presumably because if the API was working, we'd be able to see the capes. Finally, there's a cape that has a frog on it, again inspired by one of Dat's models. Elder Guardian sees invisible players. The Elder Guardian is one of the stranger mobs in the game. The ghost jump scare is one of the classic moments for a player first discovering an ocean monument.
No, don't go that way. No!
It has a single eye, which follows the player. Interestingly, this eye is unaffected by invisibility, implying that the Elder Guardian can see invisible players. But it actually goes one step further. The eye follows the player even if they're in spectator mode. To my knowledge, this is the only place in the entire game where a mob can interact with a spectator. Wet Hand's old version. Wet Hands is one of the most beloved Minecraft tracks, written by the original composer C418. But the version that's well known is not actually the original. When it was first added to the game in Alpha 1.0.14 in 2010, the ending of it was different. Let's compare. The ending was adjusted to add a melody on top. It really does a lot to tie the whole track together. These are the highest notes we've heard the entire time, and it serves as a memorable conclusion. C418's instincts to later add this to the track are one of the reasons it's so iconic today. End Void Rings. A few hundred blocks away from the End Island are the Outer Islands. Most of the end is composed of these, and if you fly in any direction, you'll see much of the same. That is, until you reach a sudden sharp cliff, beyond which there are no more islands. You'll have to fly a long way, but eventually you will find more. This is because End Generation has large concentric circles of emptiness emanating from spawn. I find this generation to be very cool and surreal, and I think it fits the mystery of the End Dimension. It's an intriguing large-scale structure of the dimension that most players will never see. Clay Creeper Respawned Dragon. The Ender Dragon was initially added in the 1.0 release of Minecraft back in 2011, but back then it was only possible to defeat the dragon once. That is, until Snapshot 15W31A, released in 2015. This added the ability to respawn the dragon. However, it wasn't done using end crystals. The method was a bit more esoteric. The Ender Dragon could only be respawned by crafting a creeper face made out of clay in the end. This was obviously a placeholder of some kind, but to this day, it remains one of the oddest spawning mechanisms to ever exist. Camel Table. It is well known that the creeper was created when Notch accidentally flipped the length and height coordinates of a pig, resulting in the strange shape we know and love today. A later model problem was the box fox. I find this one to be more funny than creepy, but it's so strange that I had to share it with you here. But not all model glitches are so benign. In 2023, a developer named Nimbon discovered a glitch with the camel mob that was a bit more, well, terrifying. Yeah, this camel table is straight up disturbing. 4 heads become legs, and there's a somewhat arachnid quality to it. Ugh, it's just so weird. I get shivers looking at this thing. I'm glad to know that it was eventually fixed. Bloody Killer Bunny. Minecraft is famous for not having any blood. In fact, it's a philosophy that goes back to the original creator, Notch. The initial zombie pigment texture was bloody, but it was removed because it's more fun to be scary without blood. But 4 years later, a bloody mob would be added again, this time in the form of a killer rabbit. By summoning a rabbit of type 99, a killer bunny will appear. It attacks any nearby player, dealing 4 hearts of damage per hit. When it was added in 2014, the killer bunny had a bloodied mouth, with some of it dripping off its paws, presumably from it having just killed and eaten another Minecraft player. But the developers remembered Notch's words, and the texture was changed 4 days later. VBOs. In many early versions of Minecraft, there was a graphics option to turn on VBOs, which stand for Vertex Buffer Objects. I'll spare you the technical details, but this setting caused some truly crazy visual glitches, especially in version 1.9. In one species, duplicated versions of landscape slices would rapidly cycle in an unpredictable way. It's difficult to watch, although it's kind of cool in a certain sense. Other glitches included extremely stretched graphics, and duplicated chunks that are semi-stable, disappearing only when the player gets too close. There are also reports of issues when VBOs were turned on, such as mysterious rainbow textures and unsettling dark voids that take up physical space. These glitches would eventually get cleaned up, and nowadays VBOs are on by default. But this remains one of the more aggressive and chaotic visual glitches to exist in the history of Minecraft. Mannequin. One of the most bizarre mobs in Minecraft is the mannequin. It can only be summoned using commands in Minecraft Java. When one is spawned, it looks like a clone of the player. It doesn't move on its own, although you can push it around. It can be given equipment using a dispenser, and also take damage and have status effects. It dies after 10 hearts. One of the unsettling things about them is you can summon one with the skin of any other player. It allows you to create some rather uncanny setups, such as a bunch of yourself scattered throughout the world. Or you could create a table with a bunch of your friends, even though you're not on multiplayer. You do know these people, don't you? These are your friends, right? And I'm sure they know that you're doing this and have given you permission. You're not just surrounding yourself with fake versions of people who don't want to play with you in real life, are you? That would be kind of creepy, but you're not doing that. Right? terracotta swastika. Glazed terracotta is a unique block for having such a complex visual texture. However, when it was initially released, there were a couple of designs that were, well, more interesting. By placing the cyan blocks in a certain configuration, a swastika would be visible. Less obvious versions could be made using orange or pink. While the swastika is a positive symbol in many cultures, it has obviously been appropriated and tarnished by some far less savory characters. A similar issue existed for the white glazed terracotta, which looks like the flag of another similar party. When users pointed out these issues, Mojang was able to change the textures. Apparently, things like this kept happening accidentally, and it was difficult for them to clear all of them out during production. 100 Days Trademark. One of the truly beautiful parts of Minecraft YouTube is the collaborative nature of it. It is very common for creators to sample the videos of others, transforming and combining them to create something totally new. That's what this very video is doing. There are a lot of external sources that I have merged in a unique way. But not every creator has taken this view of shared creativity. Perhaps the most infamous example in the Minecraft space is that of Luke the Notable. He is most well known for his 100 Days format, where he spends that amount of time playing the game and then tells the story of what happened. It's a very intriguing idea that has proven to be extremely popular. But in late 2020, Luke the Notable attempted to trademark 100 Days, gatekeeping it so that no one else could use the concept in their titles. But he went a step further. According to a user named Shadow Apple, Luke sent messages to other YouTubers asking them to not make more 100 Days videos because he started the trend. Unsurprisingly, the backlash to this decision was overwhelmingly negative. In my opinion, this is a very backwards way to do things. Imagine if I told other YouTubers not to make ARG analysis content. Instead, we as creators should be supporting and uplifting others who are making similar content to our own. After all, a rising tide lifts all boats. But the story has a happy ending. On February 1st, 2021, Luke made a Twitter post stating that he was abandoning the trademark, saying that his emotions got in the way of what should have been a friendly sharing of content. Then, he encouraged other creators to create 100 Days videos. Finally, he apologized to those he had hurt. It's awesome to see someone own up to a mistake they made, and the 100 Days niche continues to thrive today. Swear word in painting. Minecraft Bedrock is notorious for having restricted moderation, to the point where sometimes even benign words are blocked from signs for seemingly no reason. For example, a Reddit user was unable to write Lena Rain, one of the main composers for the game. The context makes this Iceberg entry that much more amusing. Most of the Minecraft paintings are actually pixelated versions of real ones, mainly painted by Christopher Zetterstrand. Backyard shows a doorway and a couple of people to the sides. It turns out that the original painting has a vulgar word as graffiti by the doorway. The word itself is sometimes even considered to be a slur, so it's pretty interesting that this painting made its way into the game, even in a pixelated form. Corrupted cave sounds. Minecraft's cave sounds are certainly creepy, but if you play the game long enough, you start to get used to them and they don't really bother you anymore. But there was an older version of Minecraft that had cave sounds that were far more unsettling. In the Legacy Console Edition, there were 2 additional corrupted cave sounds, which do not exist in any current version. I have no idea why these were never used elsewhere. I think they're really creepy and different from the current cave sounds. To date, they are the only cave sounds that have ever been removed. Farland Shadow Spawn. One of the most famous glitches from the beta era of Minecraft are the Farlands, bizarre, flat terrain that generates millions of blocks from spawn. And yet, perhaps spawn is not so far away. In beta 1.7.3, if you traveled to a specific location in the Farlands, you would suddenly recognize totally normal terrain from the world spawn. But this isn't just a copy of it. From the game's perspective, it literally is spawn. If you go to the coordinates, you suddenly see the coordinates of spawn. If you change a block here, the block changes at regular spawn as well. To my knowledge, this was first documented by Ant Venom. It's somehow even more bizarre than what I've told you, so go watch their video to get a better explanation. AI-generated update. The use of AI in video game development is somewhat controversial. Just recently, the Indie Game Awards disqualified Clair Obscur Expedition 33 because of the creator's usage of generative AI. They even went so far as to remove its award for Game of the Year and Best Debut Game. But what has mostly been swept under the rug is that the Mojang developers have used generative AI in the creation of Minecraft. The 24W14 Potato Edition was the April Fool's version for 2024. The update is based upon the Poisonous Potato, one of the most infamously useless Minecraft items. It includes, among other things, poisonous potato mobs, poisonous potato armor, and even a whole poisonous potato dimension. How were they able to come up with so much poisonous potato stuff? Well, by using generative AI. The developer Nimbon said in an interview that generative AI was used for a wide variety of things, including names, textures, and code.
Jarlus pyta, czy AI odgrywa jakąś rolę w procesie tworzenia aktualizacji do Minecrafta?
Jeśli chodzi o rzeczy artystyczne, to nie. Jeśli chodzi o rzeczy dla programistów, to programiści tego, czy AI używają do przyspieszenia pracy nad kodem. Ale to jest cały czas praca nad kodem manualna. Co innego jest w przypadku rzeczy, które nie wymagają wysokiej jakości artystycznej albo programistycznej. Na przykład przy produkcji Potato Update ja głównie jechałem na AI-u. Dużo rzeczy, dużo nazw, dużo tekstur, dużo samego kodu było generowane przez maszyny. Bo tak było szybciej. Bo trzeba nagle wyprodukować.
He did say that Mojang doesn't use it on assets for the main game, but it's interesting that one of the spin-off versions was created in large part from generative AI. I'll let you, the viewer, decide what to make of this. Potentially dangerous versions. While Minecraft has had its fair share of famous glitches, most of these don't actually do any real harm. They're just unintended behavior or effects. But this isn't always true. Some versions have glitches with much more serious implications, and these are known as potentially dangerous versions. There are a variety of specific ways this can occur, from deleting or modifying chunks permanently, or even damaging the world in such a way that it becomes unplayable. But the most dangerous of these are system threats, glitches so powerful that they escape the game and affect the device itself. There's only ever been one recorded system threat version, Minecraft Alpha 1.1.1, released on September 28, 2010. This had a glitch that caused the screen to become completely gray, even after the game was closed. The only way to remove it was to reboot the computer. But even that sometimes didn't work. A Tumblr post from Notch suggests that some people would continue to see the gray screen even after a computer restart. The solution included booting into safe mode and changing the gamma settings in the video card control panel. Obviously, this was a major issue, a glitch so bad that it escaped Minecraft. But after just 3 hours and 25 minutes, Notch pushed an update that fixed it. In fact, since it was only available briefly, this was considered to be a lost version, at least until it was rediscovered in 2021. It's definitely one of the more fascinating Minecraft versions to ever exist. Doki Doki Compatibility Quest 3. In 2015, Mojang was in the process of developing the Pocket Edition, which would one day become the bedrock version we know today. The Alpha 0.12.1 version was notable because it was the first Minecraft version to support crossplay between mobile and Windows 10. Thus, the crack marketing team at Mojang needed some way to advertise this new feature. Their solution? A browser-based dating simulator game called Doki Doki Compatibility Quest 3. Oh, I wish I was joking, but this game is very real. We play as a Windows 10 computer who just transferred to Device High, with the best performing pieces of portable technology from around the country. We can choose where to go and what to say when we meet other devices along the way. In the art studio, we stumble across Tashi, the Apple device. They say that our Windows 10 operating system is interesting. They ask us if we know art, and we say that we read the occasional comic. Ah, I can tell that you're well-read. Daniel Clowes, Charles Burns, Joaquin Perinin. Thankfully, our character happens to be knowledgeable when it comes to high art comics, and we respond by saying that Perinin's Soccer Connie is a masterpiece. Yes, Sugat Koki was great. I liked the, main character. It was inspiring. Clearly, Winston hasn't read it, and we call them out on it. How dare you question my intellect? I will leave because you have upset me to the core. Farewell. But apparently, exposing the Apple device as a pseudo-intellectual was not the path for cross-platform success. Your dismissive nature escalates during your time at Device High. You graduate successfully but become closed-minded, refusing to upgrade your firmware and dismissing any technology that requires you to conquer even the shallowest of learning curves. Soon, you find yourself outdated and alone. Okay. It seems we have to indulge the tendencies of our fellow devices. Let's go to the rooftop this time, where we soon encounter an Android phone named Andy. Hey, leave some for the rest of us. It's a hot day, you know. First day, Windows guy? Shut yourself down, fool. No. We have to be nice this time. Wait, aren't you an Android? Yes, so what? We all read web pages in the same way. Sorry, I might have sounded a bit mean. It's okay, the Minecraft thing helped bring us closer together. Enable local server multiplayer in your options menu. Okay, done. Crossplay leads the future of inter-device relations. You gain insight from every student at Device High. Cooperation leads to great things. Generation-spanning concepts emerge from passionate discussion as device kind enters a glorious age of technical evolution. A new dawn beckons. Yes, this was an official Mojang release. Yes, I did play the whole thing. Yes, there is more to it than what I showed you. But for now, this is a fitting end to the Minecraft Iceberg. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really enjoy making the occasional iceberg, and I hope you learned some interesting facts. I got these entries from a wide variety of sources, including other icebergs, things people sent me, and things I stumbled across myself. In fact, I'm starting to realize how woefully little I knew about the game of Minecraft. I have a spreadsheet with over 1,600 potential future iceberg entries, so if you're interested in another video, please let me know. Check out War Thunder, free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile. Use my link in the pinned comment or description to sign up. New or returning PC or console players who haven't played in 6 months get a massive limited-time bonus pack with the exclusive Eagle of Valor Decorator, 10,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day.